A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We'll continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation Zimbabwe. Zim Live reports that something happened at the courts of Zimbabwe today. This was during the trial of Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofo. They say as their corruption trial opened at the Harare High Court this afternoon, business partners Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofo asked a judge to clear the courtroom of journalists because they had something sensitive to tell the court. Justice Pisirai Kwenda rejected the request. This is what happened today at the High Court. They requested that journalists leave the courtroom so that they tell something sensitive to the court, and that request was rejected. So interesting moments ahead, and we are getting to the most interesting part of whatever which is happening at this point in time. Remember, this is not a simple battle. This is the battle of the bulls within ZANU-PF, within the authoritarian regime of Zimbabwe. Dziri kurovana dzakakora, mabhuru acho ndo ari kutungana. And you know, no matter the circumstances, we don't care because we have nothing to lose any further. We have lost our lives. We have lost our dignity. We have lost our friends. We have lost so many people. Our youth, their future has been destroyed because of the policies. So one of the most important things is to note that these are factional battles. Vakomana vakavharirwa ava. Chakaita kuti vavharirwe, it's a matter of trying to fix a certain faction. But that faction is now developing teeth, and very, very soon they are going to bite. What we need to understand is the fall of people like Wikino Chivayo is imminent. And Chivayo will not fall alone. He is going to fall with some comrades. Vari kumusapota nhasi. Paari kunodonha vese. The end is getting very, very, very close. But they are in denial. These comrades are in denial. They act as if everything is normal. Yet things are becoming more difficult as each day passes. One thing we can tell is that varume ava kubva kwavo kuchanyadzisa. This is going to be the most embarrassing downfall of a leader in Zimbabwe. Even the fall of Robert Mugabe, it will be a nicer fall than this one. I know that a lot of ZANU-PF apologists will never, ever accept Kuti they are falling. They will never. But the fall of Emmerson Mnangagwa is not going to fall easily. He's going to fight back. What it means is we are going to have a weakened ZANU-PF, weaker than 2017, weaker than any other time before. This regime is going to fall. The fall of Emmerson Mnangagwa will be the fall of ZANU-PF, because there are some comrades who are going to resist, because right now as we speak, there is what is called a looting brigade. That looting brigade does not need anything new to come and is in charge. If you go to some places, kune marori ari kunzi ari kutotema miti vachitengesa miti iri kutobuda kuenda kure. You know, when a situation like that happens in a country, you ask, where is Emma? What rights do they have kuti vange vachingotema miti kwese kwese? We are not seeing Emma coming to see kuti zvoraiti ngatiti vakapiwa permit zviri kuitwa here zviri pamutemo. We are not seeing Emma coming in to be part of that whole thing. We are not seeing assurance from the government to say they have a permit, we have allowed them. Imagine vanhu vachirova mari yekuti per week a single person is benefiting 600 US from nothing. Hana chaita ari kungopiwa simply because he is an eye of the system. Imagine such situations. And think that person, will that person ever want ZANU-PF to go? No. in his life haasati ambobata mari haana kwaakashanda akatambira. This is the first time yake kuwana mari through unscrupulous means. It's not happening to just a few. Across Zimbabwe, if you go in each and every area, there are useless things which are being done, but very harmful to the nation. And I munoona maChina mabiro ari kuita minerals. They are no longer mining. They are now exploiting, looting like never before. Because they know and understand kuti time yava kuda kuvharwa. So they want to gather as much as possible so that zvese zvavakaita vachiti tirikupa, they want to recoup every cent before they run away. They know kuti zvinhu zvikanzi ngachizvichiitwa according to the laws. They know that they are not going to fit into the criteria of investors. So they are doing anything possible kuti vatize nemari. The same applies to ZANU-PF top echelons vari kuzviona. Munyika muri kubiwa. And then you are told kuti Mike Chimombe na Moses Mpofu are the core criminals. Yet we have another one achitori panze ari kuramba achingodhisha mota left, right and center. The masterminder is outside. The masterminders, not one. The masterminders of this whole thing are outside. Yet the weaker people are being targeted. They can target people like Wanamos Chibai. They can target people like me. They can target people like these weak people which we have. You know, I felt sad to hear the news. They arrest people wakaita sana Bishop Nyamakanga. Why are you arresting people without anything? Havana kana pfuti, havana kana rekeni, havana kana chi, vanongori nemiromo chete yavari kutaura nayo kuti no, truda a better Zimbabwe. You arrest them. They've never harmed anybody. They've never killed anybody, but you're arresting them. Yet they are criminals at the Shake building who are sitting in the Politi Bureau each and every time, each and every day. You are not arresting them. Because, you know, murder is not a matter of taking a gun or a knife or whatever to kill someone. Murder also goes down to a point where you steal medical supplies and people die because of lack of medical supplies. Vana vangani vari kufa because hatina midwives, hatina theaters, hatina equipment. Vanhu vangani vari kufa because we don't have theaters, because we don't have scan, MRI, whatever. Recently I heard a story of a woman angane chigero mudumbu chakasiwa na chiremba. Imagine if we had scans in Zimbabwe, they could have detected kuti mudumbu memunhu uyu mune something chirimo earlier. They could have detected. Would know there is something chirimo, and they could have done a surgery of that person. So many people are dying at the expense of these boys. Vari kuraisa vanhu because of their looting. Right now vakuchibvondorana pachavo, vakuchifumurana manje because munowirirana pakuba pakuzogovana mobva mapesana. Ipapo pamunongoti tapesana pakugovana, then someone says inini ndozvifumura, handiendi ndega. This is the slogan yavari kurana right now. They are running a slogan yekuti handiendi ndega. But to me, it's a very good slogan because we have been talking about these issues for a very long time. We warned about the criminal activities and the criminal elements of this regime. To say this regime is hell-bent to make us suffer. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about me. It doesn't care about us. They care about looting. They care about themselves. They care about wealth accumulation. And we have to label them for who they are. This is a criminal cabal operating right here in Zimbabwe. And you know, one of the most interesting things is to note that this issue is when you see judges making these decisions, These are very, very, very political issues right here. This issue, Yana Mike Chimombe, yes, there is criminality, but the bigger part of it is politics. Politics is at play. And we are going to see the results. We are going to see the results of their actions. Hazvipere zvakadaro zvinhu zvese zvamuri kuona zvichiitika mumakoti. One day a certain man is going to be exposed. Zvekuti anosara asina kana chekutaura, anosara asina kana pekuhwanda. Where is the zig right now? Patai zvitaura vaitaura kuti makarivenga, muri vatengesi, this and that. We will quote all sorts of names. Where is the zig right now? Because what we have been saying about the zig has happened. Before its first anniversary, zig ratoparara. They have devalued a currency backed by gold. First time it has happened in the history. Kuti gold riku gain a value. And the currency is losing value. How do you explain that? Kuti, worldwide, gold is on demand and its value is rising. And the Zimbabwean dollar, purported to be backed by gold, is losing value. Hakuna mashura akadaro. That is a true testimony. Yezvinhu zvatakanga tichitaura kuti hakuna kwachinosvika chinhu ichi. Yes, you have built a regime based on propaganda, based on lies, based on looting, based on intimidation. But intimidation, looting, stealing, thievery hazvivaki nyika. Nyika inovakwa nechokwadi, kwete nekuti hanzi nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. If you want to build a country, be honest. If you want to build a country, be somebody who is ready to sacrifice service for the sake of the people. The issue serve. The word serve. When we talk about service, serve, you must offer something wholeheartedly from your heart. That is what is called a service. Manje zvamuri kuita izvi, this is plutocracy. You are getting into positions so to enrich yourselves and your families. This is the reason why you see your children have never worked anyway, but they drive nice cars. And you are busy telling us and our children, kuti, hey, live within your means. How do we live within our means when we don't have any means? A teacher in Zimbabwe struggles to buy a car. A teacher in Zimbabwe cannot buy a new car, a brand new car. A teacher in Zimbabwe can never buy a brand new car. Azvite, that son go chaichayo. A teacher in Zimbabwe cannot buy a single brand new Datsun Go. That is the fact. We rely on buying used cars from Japan, from South Africa, and other countries. It's because the government we have is hell-bent to make us suffer. That is what they are doing. So now we are looking. They're now finishing each other, fighting each other, holding each other onto the throne or onto the throats. We will see what is going to happen, because this is a very hot topic, a very hot story. What is it which is sensitive, which these guys wanted to tell? Very, very interesting things, and we are going to wait and see. As more information will continue to surface, we'll continue to stand in solidarity with every Zimbabwean who is suffering. Whether you're in Zimbabwe, whether you're in diaspora, we have suffered enough. We are Zimbabweans. We want Zimbabwe to be free. I love the courage of Zimbabwean people. Those who were in Zimbabwe went to vote. Those who were not in Zimbabwe sacrificed and pledged for the sake of the struggle. Last year, the struggle was funded by the people. And yet another criminal is getting political party funds dzakafandwa nevana vevamwe vanhu vari kushanda zuva nezuva, working hard, toiling to adopt my polling stations, toiling to fund my councillors, to print my flyers and everything, to send my message to relatives and friends. Iwongozoyaotora. And maifungidziro zvinopera zvakadaro. The same dice you casted against Nelson Chamisa, you are now casting it against yourselves. Zvakwenyu manje. apa toda kutaura chokwadi. Mnangagwa naChiwenga vanopedzana gore rino. No matter the circumstances, this time around, these guys are going to crash. They are going to crush each other. Whoever is going to be saved is the one who is going to say, Chamisa, Shamari, ngativakei nyika. That is the man who is going to be saved from the humiliation and embarrassment which is coming. So isusu tetiriko kumateresi takatarisa. You kill us, people will never keep quiet. You continue to steal, the people of Zimbabwe will never keep quiet. You know, it's pointless to threaten us. It's pointless to kill us because you kill me, 10 more people will rise who are better than me. You kill 10, 1,000 more will rise who are better than those who you have killed. You killed Itai Dzamara. Did you end the problems and the troubles? No. You killed Vanaledi Mojongwe. Did you end the troubles and the problems? No. Up to this day, you still have a problem. You still have more vicious people in the political cycles. It's because you cannot stop the will of God. You can't stop an idea. And when an idea, when its day comes, or when its time comes, then boom, something different and difficult to stop will happen. So this is what is happening. We wait to see what is it which is sensitive, which they wanted to tell. Remember, these people are being punished for exposing the masterminder wemadhiri ese wetenderpreneurship. This is the reason why they are being punished. And remember, there is a town clerk ari muHarare akasuspendwa by a faction led by Vene. This is a faction led by Vene. Ndo yakapa an authority to suspend town clerk who is believed to be part of the other faction. Then ndokubva auya ndokubva ataura kuti nini panapa haundidzinge. These are factions fighting each other. Zvakudyanana zvakurovana pachazvo. Today in court, another one. There is something very sensitive which they have to tell. What is it? No matter the information yavari kutifungidzira kuti vakavharira nekuchengeta vakomana vamujere, they must know kuti kana dhei remafaira rasvika rinongouya. And there is nothing they can do to stop it. So this is what is happening. We'll continue to watch and see as they continue to flex their muscles. The major question is who is going to emerge victorious. This is very dangerous and it's going to carry some consequences. But as the people of Zimbabwe, we are fed, we are tired of this regime. We'll wait to see what is going to happen, and we will not help either of them. We remain solid, we remain resolute to the struggle, and we remain committed to the struggle as led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, who is our champion in chief. No matter the circumstances, our politics is not party-centered. Our politics is people-driven, people-centered, and it happens with the people. I love what I'm seeing in the countryside. I love how people are seeing how this ZANU-PF regime, how evil it is. Kuti vanowana mari dzekuunganidza nekubhadharira vanhu mabhazi kuenda kumarali. Asi havawane mari yekutenga maambulance pamaclinics, havawane mari yekutenga mishonga pamaclinics. I have seen several people vakaenda kumaclinics vononyorerwa maprescription unzi endai munotenga. Kudhara vaisimbozviwana. Unoziva kuti hurumende yevaMugabe yava neutsinye. But to a certain extent yaibvumira madhona kuisa mishonga muzvipatara. Iyi yatinayo iyi iri kutorambidza madhona acho kuisa mishonga muzvipatara kana mishonga yacho iri kutobiwa. What it means is a rural villager will go to the clinic and will not find treatment. Onyorerwa mishonga, oenda kufamasi kunotenga mishonga, obva abhadhara mari yekombi kuenda nekudzoka nenzara yake. Asvika ikoko obva audzwa kunzi mushonga uri kuda uri kuita $25. Uyu wanyorerwa mapiritsi aya ari kuita $9. Aya wanyorerwa ari kuita $6. Aya anyorerwa ari kuita $11. Obva achifunga kuti saka otenga one mushonga. And the problem continues to develop kusvika pekuti hausina chauchakwanisa kuita. You go to the hospital, the hospitals are not functioning, are not working. Unondoswera ikoko wakagara, wodzoka kumba mangwana wodzokera futi unoswera up andi usina mari yebhazi. Matengesa mombe yacho yatengwa nesick money, mari yopera futi pasina chaitika, wotengesa imwe, unosvika pakuvhara danga. Wapedza kuvhara danga wabva wafa futi. This is what is happening. And do not think kuti my families are not seeing it. People are seeing it, and some of them are regretting ever allowing this regime to continue. So it's time for change, and change does not happen in a day. A revolution does not complete where it starts. Take a wheel and turn it. You understand how a revolution is completed. So for those who are saying tanonokerwa, just know that we are very close. We are getting very, very, very close to the end of the madness happening in Zimbabwe. And one day, Zimbabwe shall be free and Zimbabwe shall enjoy. We need a government which is going to say, we have diamond in Zimbabwe. Let us mine this diamond. This diamond must be mined by government-owned companies. And we will benefit the people of Zimbabwe. We'll build roads, build hospitals, build schools, educate our people, make our people useful, make them investors, train them on how to manage their own businesses and investments, make Zimbabwe an investment hub, make Zimbabwe an infrastructural hub, make Zimbabwe an industrial hub in the southern region, make Zimbabwe a technological hub. That is the kind of government which we need, which is going to prioritize our health, our education, our safety, our well-being, and make sure kuti hakuna munhu anorara nenzara. Not zvatiri kuona zvamadokororo. I've said it. One thing I loved about President Nelson Chamisa, he said, we are not going to have a budget which is going to be decided by someone seated in Harare. We want a budget which will start to be decided at the village level. We then put a budget decided at the national level, compare it with a budget developed at the village level, and see what are the aspirations of the people in Dotito, in Mwenezi, in Shayamavudzi, wherever they are. In Chipinge down there. Then we say, what do they need? Because there is no way Mtuli Ngube know what we need. He doesn't. I know that we need schools. Mtuli Ngube is thinking otherwise. I know that we need a water for irrigation. Mtuli Ngube is thinking otherwise. But if a budget is drawn from our village, we know what we need. And then we tell the government, and when the government makes a budget, it prioritizes what we need from the villages going up. That is how we develop areas. That is how we develop a country. Education must be at the center of everything because information is key. Knowledge is key. So you can talk of any other things, but as long as our children are learning about useless things, our children cannot create jobs. Our children do have innovation skills which they have, but they can't be developed into better innovators. I have seen young people around Harare who are doing great things. Vagadzira chimota chake chinofamba chinodi zvimotikari zvakangosiyana-siyana zviri kugadzirwa. But I have never seen the government of Zimbabwe saying, okay, we have seen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 young people who are in developing the A, B, C, D. Let us fund them. Let us create a school where these young people are going to be developed into innovators. Then they continue innovating, and we make our country great. The government will not do that. The government will rely on buying cars for chiefs. They will continue buying cars for themselves. Minister ane mota mbiri dzake dzekumba obva ati plus yebasa plus dzavari kutora kumaofisi zeministry dziri kufamba nevakadzi vavo nevana vavo I've seen this happening. Kuti a government official, a top government official, anenge ane motikari dzake 2, 3, 4 dzebasa, otora mapool vehicles 4, 5 anoenda, mukadzi wake anofamba nepool vehicle yekubasa, mwana anofamba nepool vehicle yekubasa, and you ask questions, who does that? Where is that fuel coming from? And you tell us that Zimbabwe is poor. You tell us that Zimbabwe is not capable. When we have all what we need, but those resources are being abused and misused. It's very difficult to ferry a prisoner to court, but it's very easy to ferry a wife of a government official to luxury kuenda kumafaro. Vanotodrive vapfana ivavo kuti takumboenda kuforos kunofara. And you ask questions. Motikari idzodzo dzikarovera anogadzirisa ndiani? We have struggled and we have suffered enough. Why are these ministers, why are these people not driving Datsun Go? They are driving luxurious cars. Vari mutepfe comfort. It's because they don't care about you, they don't care about us. They care about themselves and their families. But that day is coming when this madness is going to stop, and that day is fast approaching. So as Zimbabweans, let us continue to remain steadfast. Let us continue to pray that God quickens whatever which is brewing in Zimbabwe. May God put a catalyst so that it quickens zvikasike zvaitika, such that the people of Zimbabwe becomes free. We have suffered enough. Our people have suffered at the hands of this regime. And it's time for change. It's time for us to have a government which is people-centered. Do you know that if we embark on agriculture, agriculture alone can sustain Zimbabwe? What about if we do agriculture, we do mining, we beneficiate, we industrialize, we innovate? What do you think is going to happen? I want to tell you this. If our government is serious, they can work together with individuals to say, let us put money together, build a solar power plant, and then everybody who has put something in that solar power plant will not pay for electricity. That is an initiative which is going to make people invest in those power plants. But zvinonetsa because mari yakabhadharwa kuna chivhayo akadya mari. Up to this day hakuna chaitika kuGwanda. Solar project yakamira. Yet in other countries, solar projects are being launched, project after project, project after project. In Zimbabwe, nothing is happening. You go to ZPC and say, we want to build a power station so that we feed the nation with electricity and we will make money. They will not allow you because they hate Zimbabweans making money. They hate Zimbabweans becoming multimillionaires. They hate Zimbabweans becoming, taking control of their own economy. They want this situation. Wherever you go in Zimbabwe, notice the movements. Law enforcement authorities. They just make unnecessary movements. Targeting makombi, targeting tumota, targeting hazvidi mapurisa. Zviri kungoda a solid law which no one can easily break. Simple. Why is it that haungooni vanhu vachingobvutirwa zvikwama mutauni pachena pasina chinoitika? It's because mbavha dzinotozviza kuti ndikangobvuta zvisina musoro ndikasatotsungwa kumhanya ndafa. Why is it vanhu vemushikashika vanenge vachingoita zvavanoda? It's because the Zimbabwe has become a lawlessness country. Ndochokwadi. So don't tell us that we have laws, but no. There are no laws in Zimbabwe. The laws are there for the poor, but for those who are rich, who are making money, there are no laws for the rich. no laws for the elite. But it's time. The time is coming when Zimbabwe is going to be put back into action of producing, not action of politics. It's time for Zimbabwe to move into a different trajectory. Tisiyane nezvepolitics, titange kuita development. But we are being kept in the political mood and mode by these people in power because they've abused the power for too long. They enjoy being in power, doing nothing for the people, but looting. But the time is coming. So their clash, to us, it's a benefit. We continue to watch and see what is going to happen. Zviri kumbofamba sei tichange tichiona as the days continue to unfold in the nation of Zimbabwe. We are in the season of change. Whether they like it or not, change is coming. Whether we are dead or alive, change is coming. As I said, they killed Itai Dzamara. They did all sorts of things, but they've failed to stop a revolution unfolding in Zimbabwe. So let us continue to fight. Let us continue to remain committed. Reason, your thoughts may be your thoughts, but we have a different trajectory, a different view altogether. This is how you think. Personally, I don't believe in destroying Zimbabwe for anything. I know that liberation will come to the nation of Zimbabwe, but not through whatever you think. So, General, I agree with you. We are watching from afar. Zvedu tichiona zvichiitika kusvika zvapedzana, then we'll take advantage of the situation. Okay, so Love More, thank you very much for coming. Rwendo rwuno hazvina kumira zvakanaka. You know, reason, isisu basa redu harisi rekuti isisu tinoita kuti zvinhu zviite. Our duty is to report what is happening. Our duty is to speak against atrocities happening in Zimbabwe. That is our duty. We speak for the voiceless. We speak for everyone. The people of Zimbabwe have suffered enough, and it's time for us to speak. What you need to understand is information is key. If you have a cell phone, I know that you have a gadget. The gadget you have is a tool you use for communication, which means you cannot communicate when there is no information. You only need information for you to be able to communicate. You can only make decisions when you are well informed on what is happening and what needs to be done. We talk, congenders the people of Zimbabwe, stand together with them. And then one day, the people of Zimbabwe shall realize what is happening. If ZANU-PF was not scared, President Mnangagwa would not intimidate the people in the media sector. His last Politburo address, he intimidated us for telling the truth as it is. Why? It's because they feel the impact. Take a look when they were doing all these policies. We spoke against those policies so hard. To an extent now, what we said in the past, ZANU-PF people are now confirming it. They come on social media vachicomplaina nezvinhu zvatakataura mazuva ese apera tichipopota panapa. They are now coming to agree with us, which means the more they do so, the more our people understand what we are facing. We need to deal with this problem, but it can't happen without the information side. Imagine how Nelson Chamisa is being or has been attacked on social media. Do you think he must defend himself every day? Justify. No. We have to defend our principle. We have to defend our principle with whatever which we have. And we have mics. So we have to defend him through our mouths, through social media, through the internet, because this is what we have. And for those with other means, no one is being stopped to use other means. Ours is the media side. is the communication side. Then if there are other people with other means, let them use other means, and we will be speaking about whatever they will be doing. That is it. So it is what it is. Isisu tinokondinya kuita role yedu, and others will continue to do their role. Isisu we are not part of the strategic panels. Kune vari ku side race strategy, vari kuronga vachita tudobi dobi. Even if we might know some of the things happening from within or not, Isisu we stand guided by our roles to speak out as what we are doing. Thank you very much for coming.